Well, here's the gas locker and where the little baby generator is. There's a gas change over here. This is going to be where the propane regulator, because I'm going to convert the little Honda generator over to propane, just for convenience and cost. So in the UK here, it's generally cheaper to run on propane as opposed to petrol or gasoline. So yeah, that's here's the gas holding in bar, I don't know what you call a retainer. And so I've got a flow gauge, not flow gauge, supposed to be like a contents gauge, but it's like a pressure gauge. It's not over accurate. I've used it and so it's not over accurate, but got some ventilation holes for the you know, like exhaust and the cooling of the motor. And I had to do a little bit of a modification here and put it's actually a spoon, and it just deflects. It's got bent because I've been using it for work. That's right, the farm manager's just going past. Yeah, it just had to put an little extension on there to take it through to, you know, take it through the wall there. Because this just was when I tried it to start with, there was about half-inch gap, and it was filling the thing with, you know, the cabinet there with fumes. So we've done that. So I'll check in a second. That's with everything fitted. As you can see, they're rock solid. And the generator, that's got a little bit of movement, but it's got rubber feet on the bottom. And that was a bit of an afterthought, because it was going to have a water container in there, but I decided to put spare petrol or gasoline and spare diesel in there. So yeah, the water would have used to strap in a bit different, but the strap won't work on this this arrangement. So we'll have to come up with a bit of an idea. Probably, I don't know if you can see them, something like them, which is just like a coach bolt, or I don't know, a dome top bolt with a piece of a link of chain welded onto it to make a strap loop. I mean, they were old concrete anchors that I used. So there's a lot of recycled stuff in it. All the copper pipe was recycled. All the metal was for this, and the threaded rod was recycled. This was given to me. The changeover valve was given to me by my cousin that came off a job that he was taking out of, you know, taking it out and sort of to be disposed of, but it was too good. And so yeah, there it is. And say even the flooring is it was an offcut of left over from a job at work. So we didn't spend a lot. And say big lock-in eye, that came off the side of the road. That was laying on the side of the road after they'd done power lines. They just left it behind, and it was going to go to waste. So I picked it up and had it in the shed for quite some time. So there's the, let's just lock that up. Sort of an inconspicuous sort of cupboard. I'm putting it all over the place. So that box there is just where the batteries and the air filter is for the truck. Right. I just thought I'd show this under this cabinet. We done that one. This is just where the batteries are going to go. I had to, there's a video somewhere on the channel. I had to put this battery isolator, as in it just shuts the batteries off. It's not like a charging isolator, but let's get under here. There's various terminations that go up to here. But take the power from these batteries to charge control. Oh, got a bird nest moved in. Don't know if it's active or not. We'll leave it be for now. So you can see the gas pipe that goes from the locker all the way around. But actually we'll give it a bit of a start up. It should be on. Hasn't been started since September last year, which is nearly 8 months. Is the door undone? No, it's locked. Long-winded. So it needs a bloody good clean. So it's a fairly standard cab as well. So it's got the double seats. So it's registered to carry 7 with the seats in the back. Very modern radio there, cassette still. That'll probably come out at some point. See if it goes. Got no air. Say 5-speed manual. Straight. Look at how easy that started. It hasn't been started since say September. So, shut that off to make quieten the noise down. Air suspension on the back, just so you can raise and lower it. So you've got a certain amount of leveling control with the jacks and stuff. But yeah, so it's a quick overview and a quick start. So tachograph been calibrated, so I've got some brake spares over there, which was a job I was going to do last year, but we managed to get the MOT done without changing them, but it'll need doing this year. So over and out, so everything lovely condition. So, but what's the mileage? So it's not mileage, it's kms, kilometers. Yeah, 134,000. Yeah, 134,000, 187 miles. Right, over and out. Oh, so while we're about it, that's what's under the front. Clutch and steering and coolant reservoir. The dipstick here somewhere, but it's been a long time since I've pulled it out, so I can't remember where it is. Or was it behind the cab? It might be behind the cab. I can't remember now. I should know. So fuse panel and stuff and control stuff in there. Screen wash. That's put a new corner fender on. I'm gonna have to put a new one of these on because it's a known thing when you shut this. They crack across the top. I just put some sealing in it for temporary, but they're like somewhere between 70 and 100 quid depending where you get them from, so that'll be a future project. I'll just give you a look in this side. It's got a tipping cab. I'll tip the cab at some point. I shouldn't think this is unlocked, no. So there's another fuse box there. I've got to trace these wires back. These ones do the 24 volt system in the back, but I'm doing away with the... I don't want it connected to the starting batteries, you know, for obvious reasons. I want to start if you parked up for a few weeks, so you want to just be able to turn the key and go. So I've got to trace all of these back, unroute them, and then rewire them into the house part of the wiring system. Let's say, well, there's the brake parts and pads. So a little bit bigger than your average car. And so then brake discs, and you can only really carry one box at a time. You could probably carry two, but it's a bit heavy. Okay. Right, here's the cab all tipped up. I've replaced tensioners and pulleys on here and the belts, and got one or two other little bits to change. Nothing essential, but so I just didn't want them flying off halfway across Europe or wherever you may be at the time. It's a 16 valve BT4 Cummins or Packard, but it's made under license here in the UK. I think it's a Euro 3, might be wrong, but Euro 3, but it's not compliant to go into London or low emission zones. But so it's a low mileage engine, always been serviced. It's because it's an ex-government vehicle, so it's pretty much had everything it could ever need, and so it's got service history coming out of its ears. And the roof used to have an airfoil on there, but it was taken off before I purchased to let the air go through the split, what do you call it, split unit air conditioning. You can see I'm in the middle of them wires to go up to a control box behind this fender, so I'm not pointing the right direction, and I'm going to have some ducting go down, but they're the cables that are going to take the power from the solar panels. A little bit oversized, but I'm going to put quite an oversized system on there. You can always use big wires for a small load, but you can't use small wires for a big load. But so it's got air suspension on the cab, so the ride's really quite nice. And as you can see, it's been parked there. It's split that paving slab there. So there's the air, what do you call it, desiccant thing, removes the moisture from the air for the air brakes and air suspension. But yeah, there's an overview of that bit. It's a passenger side or near side, or the side nearest the curb. There's a door, that's where the diesel goes in. Nothing much in there. It's a bit of a pain to fill up with diesel though. You have to go right through and get your gun in there, but it is totally doable. So it's done 134,000 miles, so someone's managed to get some diesel in there. And under here is the second generator, 15 kilowatt. I think it's Yanmar. Yeah, it was Yanmar. So all serviced up, ready to go. This cable here comes from the other side where the little Honda generator is. So the plant, I mean, this might not stay in here. I'm going to try it for now, but it's quite a large lump, but it's 15 kilowatts. So I put a floodlight in there, so you can see. Is it on? Yeah. But it doesn't cast a very good light, so it's a bit. I think I want a fluorescent in there really, or a LED. So spare fan belt. But I've also taken that wire there goes down to the alternator, the 12 volt alternator, not the mains voltage alternator. So this charges like a split charge relay, like you would on a normal van, but because I've got 24 volts on the truck, I've had to do something different. So when this is running, it will charge off the 12 volt alternator like when you drive in a normal car. But I've also got chargers that will run off the electricity here. But this cable comes from the little Honda generator. If I can do it, I can't do this one. There we go. And then that goes in there, so it will, so I can run the little generator, you know, the quiet one, fuel efficient. Turn the light off before I forget. But it's got, say, full automatic changeover. Say full automatic, doesn't automatically start the generators, but it will switch between the sources, so there's no messing around really. Let's pull it out, put that back in. So I've had to put these hinges in because there was a rubber strip here, but it perished, and they're not I was having trouble finding one, so I just put some hinges on. My cousin managed to source them for me from an ironmongery place, and they're very, you know, got bearings in and stainless steel. That's just where the wheel is. I don't actually like them. I like to see the wheels, so it might get some arches in the future, but it ain't broke, so don't fix it. This is where the jack goes. Jack as in the levelling jacks for the back and stabilisation. So you've got, let's put the light on so I can see. So you've got two stabilisation jacks there, so you can you've got a certain amount of levelling to, you know, pitch front to rear, and you've got a certain amount of levelling left to right, but because of the anti-roll bar and I don't know what the proper name is in for around the world, but there's a limit to how much you can level left and right. But so there's a big void up in there, which may get a propane tank put in there and do away with the little cylinders. And on the far side you can see where the grey water tank goes and the outlets, and that's about that. A quick look at the back, not much to... As you can see, it was, I don't know if it's going to come out on the camera, ex-blood service. Am I a good driver? Well, that won't come through to me, that's for sure. But say that this was built by Bent's Bodyworks, but that's so faded you won't be able to see that on the camera. So, and there's the handle for doing the levelling, and wheel again. This one's to get so you can go through to the drain your water out of your tank. I put a connection on there so you can connect a... Is it going to come out? Yes. Yeah, I put a connector on the end of that so you can connect a hose pipe if you wanted to with a snap fit. So, water drain. I know that's empty because I leave it open. This is the water. This is the water. Bang the camera. This is the water fill point. It's got a bit of an unusual fitting on there. Took a bit of tracking down, but a good friend of mine managed to track it down, match it, and we put it on. But as you can see, it's you'd have trouble tampering it. But I also fitted up in here a 12-volt socket, so you could connect a pump. You could stand a barrel here and connect a pump to pump the water into the tanks. But you can fill here to fill the tanks, and it's a bit of a pain. It's something I might have to change in future, but it does work. There's behind here. There's a valve, and you turn that so it will fill the tanks, or you can turn it the other way, and you can have it connected like city water or hook up, so your taps will work straight off the hose pipe. And so it works very well, and tried it many times. And yeah. And say got pressure regulator on there as well, and say standard sort of British hose fitting. You can say quick fit on there. Say pressure limiting valve on there. So no stupid pressure, but say it's all piped up as if it's a house, so it withstand mains pressure. Oh, there's a little baby exhaust sight for the Eberspacher night heater. So there's a quick overview of this side. Right, over and out.